Hello,
Are we live?
hello, and welcome. I think we are. Hi, welcome to a brand new episode of Superhero Club Presents The Boys After Show. Again, this is your one stop shop on Prime Video YouTube for all things season 3 of The Boys. Per usual, I am your co host KB, and I am joined by one of my faves, the fabulous Stephanie Williams. Hello.
I I'm happy to be here, and I'm trying to come up with some names for I don't know, fans of the boys, because Vought rules everything. Vought does that work? Kind of like, Mouseketeers, because they're giving that. So welcome,
But murder,
Vought, and if you hate that, just let me know. I mean,
the
if
murder like
it
mouse
seemed
here
very
for
cute.
Vought.
Yes. Botaniers just sound like it made sense. But if you hate it, don't let me know. Just keep that to yourself. But we're here to talk about episode 4, which was honestly, compared to the first 3 episodes, there was still a lot that went on, but I was actually a little relieved that it wasn't so much. Or maybe that just means that I've been desensitized a little bit from binging 3 episodes all at once. But who's to say? We'll get into it because there are some things that happen in this episode that were like, wow, okay, we are
Really,
really still
I
going there
I
this
I
season, right?
I think it's interesting that you are desensitized because I felt like episode 4 was more chaotic than the first 3 combined. For me, I don't know. That's why I'm like, oh wait, you thought it was a bit more mild. That's interesting. So I can't wait
I
for us to get
mean,
into
it's either the show or my week, one of the two. But either way,
it.
I was like, okay,
Not
I was
Your
a
Week
little
was
more
more
relaxed.
chaotic than an
So,
episode of The Boys. Like, Not Your Week is
okay,
definitely
that
like.
doing too damn
Well,
much,
first, before
yes.
we get into yes. Well, before we get into our thoughts, can we just take a look back at those insanely wild episodes 1 through 3?
Me and the boys, we all set up. May I please have the green light?
No maiming or torture or setting anyone on fire.
You have restored a wholesome image. The board wants to make you co-captain of the seven.
I am just a man who fell for the wrong woman. I am excited for everyone to meet the real me.
I'm not just like the rest of you. I am better.
I'm the real hero.
White males in the Rust Belt. Loved your speech?
Yes.
He was just walking home from work. Blue Hawk curb stomped him so hard it cracked the pavement. I need you to speak up.
I'm Michael Jordan. I'm not Malcolm X.
I could bring good people into the seven.
You keep your distance. She's my girl now.
He's lost his mind.
As long as I am CEO, he's under control.
Newman's the head popper. Pretty much Stan Edgar's daughter, too. Thought we could fight Vought the right way, but we can't. We have to do it your way.
I think I have something.
What's PCO read?
Some kind of weapon. You believe the rumors. It's the thing that killed Soldier Boy. This is our best chance to kill Homelander.
What's this?
10 feet makes you a suit for 24 hours.
What killed Soldier Boy? That's a CIA.
You knew, man. You never said a word.
You said you'd always watch out for me. I hate you.
Set up a meeting with that one Nina. It's a very bad idea. No, Frenchie, it's a very good idea. We're going to Russia.
See, I told you it was a lot.
I mean, I listen. I never said it wasn't a lot. I just feel like this episode for me had way more. So you know
It
what,
did.
Stephanie, go ahead. Tell us, how are you feeling overall about the events of episode 4?
Whew. The tides are turning. And I don't know if it's to be, and when I say that, like, I don't know for the better for whom, because WTF, we go across to an entire continent, another country, because they do end up going to Russia. A-Train's doing stuff. Home for Always is doing stuff. Starlight is being a little sneaky, and not being very good about it, because like maybe you should, I don't know, vet the folks that you're talking about. We've got Maeve slicing and dicing, leaning into her Wonder Woman, if you will. And Huey is, like I said last week, being annoying. So we've got that, and again, a lot happens, but comparatively speaking, those last 3 episodes plus this one, again, I think I might just be a little desensitized because, well, we'll get into it, but Kamiko, we've got to talk about her because, wow.
Yeah, listen, I swear I definitely like audibly gasped a lot during this episode. I feel like more so than the first three for me, but the biggest thing I really
Yeah.
was side eyeing this episode is A Train. Like, I mean, I really didn't think it would be possible because that new suit, still terrible. The Middle Passage video game, still a
Yeah.
terrible idea. And you know, this week is
Yeah.
no better. This spoof of the Kendall Jenner Pepsi ad,
Loved
it
it.
was chef kiss. Like, I definitely feel like The Boys leans into pop culture in a way, and really makes it satirical in a way that no other show does. So let's check out that clip.
It's gonna be okay. Really. Let me save you for once.
Huey, this has to work.
It'll work.
What'll work?
My Vought Sonic speaker setup. I'm sorry, how did you get it?
Where are those people going?
There's a protest on the street.
Hey, Train, where are you going? Almost ready to shoot.
This is important. We gotta listen to each other. A-Train's Turbo Rush Energy Drink.
I mean,
Okay.
that A Train rushing to peace like MLK Jr. Like, I cannot do this, please. Like,
which makes me wonder, in the Boys universe, are there designated MLK Jr. streets? Because if you are familiar with those, depending on where you live, they are either some of the in the worst neighborhoods or the best, or you get a little something like in Chicago where it goes from wow to, oh, okay, we changed tax brackets. But if anything, that Kendall Jenner, wow, Kendall Jenner Pepsi commercial was so ridiculous that, do we live in the Boys universe? Because I don't know, because like that just fits so perfectly. They're both the same in their audacity. I actually did out loud when the police officer decided to go into, I feel like he was going to do a crumping move after that, because, you know, crumping at this is a thing. I will leave it at that. But that cracked me right on up, because I guess A-Train's energy drink makes you want to dance, vibe, be at peace, and dance around in confetti.
I mean, I guess it does that for some people. Let me just say, it clearly doesn't do it for him, because honestly, this episode, I was like, A-Train, you are spiraling. And you being upset that Homelander chose the deep over you, like, I mean, both y'all immature and foul, but okay, sir. However we want to live life, truly. Like, truly, if this is what you want, A Train is what you want. But yeah, overall, I think this episode for me had a lot more individual character development. And I think it's really hard in shows like
Yes.
this that have such a large ensemble cast to really nail it. And I feel like for
Mm-hmm.
our core team, we got a lot of good character development. Like we saw things about each person, and I feel like that's going to be some of the things that we saw this episode. I feel like will be lasting themes as the season progresses. But yeah, it was good. You know, the only other shocking thing kind of was I was like, girl, Ashley, I want you to live life, but you're choosing men, not Cameron. Please.
And I had to actually play that back, add it back, because I was like, wait a minute. Because obviously dildos was like a recurring theme episode, but you brought up a really, but before we get into that, like you brought up a really great point about the individual character development moments, because Butcher has one when he's talking to Mother's Milk, and I really appreciated it because you can see that, like, I don't know, like, even though he's an ass, he does respect on his team, even Huey. Kind of hear that backstory as to like why he was selected, um, coming straight out of, what was it, the Marines, or the Army, either one. I know they're not the same, but the reason why Butcher and the other platoon guy selected him, because they felt that he was a very strong leader, and he is. Like, they're gonna need Mother's Milk to be on his A game if they're going to survive whatever this is that is coming their way, which seems like a shit show. And thankfully, we haven't seen any shit yet, but that could happen soon.
I mean, it's still early. Anything is possible. And high key, I wish Mother's Milk would have gotten a therapist before this, because I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of trauma that he needs to deal with before whatever's coming with, you know, Soldier
Mm-hmm.
Boy. But I'm like, I truly wish he had an opportunity to kind of sort through that, because now it's like, I'm pretty sure he's going to take this trauma out on whoever stands in his way.
Oh, absolutely. Because, well, spoilers by this time. I mean, if you didn't realize that, I'm so sorry. But anyway, when you have Huey shoot up, and then also Butcher with the hero serum, like, I'm just waiting for Mother's Milk's moment to do, even gets that moment this season, because like I just want to know what that will look like on screen. So to your point, therapy probably won't happen before then, but we will probably all be wishing that it did, because I don't know, I just don't see that ending well for anybody involved. But moving on from overall reactions, let's get into some major moments. And we'll just go ahead and cue this clip up, because Kamiko, let us play her shining moment this episode.
Встань на четвереньки. А твоя подружка...
Знала только, что ты хочешь уничтожить мой успех. Тебя не жду. Смени мечту и возвращайся ты к себе. И не ходи больше на льду. Я пытался сердце мне своим прощай, что готов. Уходи, получай, жизнь началась. О, знаю я, пока умею я любить, я знаю, точно буду жить. Так хорошо с собой быть и всю любовь свою дарить. Жизнь началась, я буду жить.
Ой, ребят!
Yes, there goes my girl Kamiko. I
What?
like to call her, I'm changing her name now to Kamiko and the Vicious Vibrators. I feel like, you know, she could go on tour with these vibrators as a weapon. I'm like, go ahead, girl, your Vicious Vibrators. Go ahead, make it happen for the team. Although I definitely feel like she should not have been put in that position by Butcher. But
No.
I definitely feel like this entire episode, when I tell you Karen was really acting down, which it's already hard to play this role and, not verbally say anything. And then just the
Mm-hmm.
heaviness, the guilt that's been weighing on her. I mean, honestly, I am thrilled that her and Frenchie are like, we gotta go. Cause, Butcher is a terror, but he hasn't been this bad ever, I feel like. Like this, I said it last week, this
No.
V situation is really changing him and he is becoming the thing that he hates the most. So I truly, truly shout out to Kamiko because this episode was really, she killed. Literally, I guess, too.
She did. Like I really love the Russian version of I Will Survive. Because it's quite a bop. I had to playlist because I was like, I can really get into this. So it was nice to see her kill a track that really fit that scene. Standout moment for me would have been that one, but I would say that it is the awkward throuple situation. And we can go ahead and cue that clip up, and you'll know what I mean once we watch it.
It's gonna be okay. Really. Let me save you for once.
Huey, this has to work.
It'll work.
What'll work?
My Vought Sonic speaker setup. I'm sorry, how did you get in?
Well, I have a key. Yeah, I gotta keep an eye on my best girl, right? By the way, you're a sound sleeper, Starlight. Don't look at you, too. I'm kidding. Come on, lighten up. I'm joking. But we gotta go. We're running late. Rolling Stone, cover shoot, hot issue. We got hottest ship. Don't you worry, Huey. This little love affair is strictly for the cameras. Although that's how me and Maeve started out, and that got quite spicy. Yeah, I'm not kidding, man. Let's just say that Maeve can bend a steel pipe without using her hands. What's she like? She good. Ooh.
Touch him or anyone he cares about, and I'll walk. And I'll take my approval points with me.
I'm kidding. You really need to lighten up, guys. Come on, Starlight. Mario's waiting.
First
Okay.
off, like I was just about to say, first off, not her knowing that the approval rating matters to him so much that she gonna use it as a threat. Like, truly, Homelander is predictable.
Yeah, it's that, but also I don't like talking about whatever they're doing while at headquarters or whatever. It just did not seem like a wise idea. But Starlight, baby, you and your Home Depot powers, and by that I mean, little glitter and gold, because because like when her eyes were lighting up, all I could think of is being at school and that one light bulb that for whatever reason they refuse to fix, and it just kind of like makes that noise. I'm like, baby, there is, like, I get it, Homelander is messing with your man, but no, girl, like, you and basically almost everybody stands no chance against him. And probably the biggest moment was the return of Soldier Boy, because I wanted to make sure we mentioned that because it was a huge moment. But yeah,
I
it's
will
not
say
looking good.
you know what? I didn't even. So here's the thing: the return of Soldier Boy wasn't that ominous to me yet. Obviously,
Yeah.
we know what he's capable of and where that's headed. But for me, I'm gonna have to shout out Laz Alonso because poor MM really looked like he was going to have a cardiac event when, Butcher pulled that door off and he saw Soldier Boy still breathing. It was terror, it was fear, it was pain. So truly shout out to Laz, because he was really acting down in that scene. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I feel like because he hasn't had therapy, or maybe because they haven't showed us that that he had therapy, but I'm willing to bet that he probably hasn't, then this trauma is like bubbling to the surface, and he's unstable. Like, I do not know what's going to happen. He's unstable.
He absolutely is unstable. Also, I just want to mention booty cheeks, because we do get that from Soldier Boy when he comes on out of the cold, or a deep I guess that would be his like Winter Soldier moment or whatever, but gets nice cakes. So Soldier Boy is definitely caked up on a Tuesday. So with that said, characters to watch. I'll go ahead and launch right into that. Soldier Boy, of course.
Do it. Let's talk about it. Because, I mean, honestly, the characters to watch are kind of interesting this season. So I'm curious, were you right or wrong last episode, Steph, about who was your character to watch?
Oh, my God. Last week was 2 years ago. I forgot who my character to watch was. So I mean, I don't think it was Butcher for this week, because I think it's gonna change every week, KB, to be honest. So my character to watch this week is actually going to be, you know what, the Deep, because he was actually really leaning into being a Monterey eel. Just keep it in, aquatic for him, snaking about and being someone who you really do want to see A-Train punch into a wall. Although that fight, first off, let me just a mild tangent. How are you both superheroes and your fight is mid? How does that work? Neither one of you should be on the 7, because when I think of a hallway fight, I think of, RIP. I think World Star is still a thing. But anyway, like, you should want to possibly yell that. And I didn't want to yell that. Didn't want to yell it at all, because that fight was just, it put me to sleep. I'm like, what a corny, just neither one of you deserve to be in a 7 ass fight. It was just really terrible. But and wow, they are one and the same. But anyway, the Deep is a character that I want to continue to watch, because he's got help from that little wife of his.
The Deep is a puppet at best every single season. Like, he truly has to be controlled by someone else to have like a thought of his own. And so for me, I'm always like, you just cannot do anything yourself. You have to have someone literally turning your neck around at all things. I agree. I definitely feel like the fight was mid. But I mean, to be fair, I feel like the fight would always be mid with the Deep. A-Train is just going through something right now. I don't feel like this is normally how it would be, because he's struggling. Now, I still don't stand this costume change, and we as the Black community might have to trade him, because he's doing a lot right now. But I just feel like I feel like he would be on the up and up in some places. It's just not right now. But the Deep always gonna give you a mid fight, because he belongs in the water. He was like, I don't need to fight on land. Like, what is the truth? So I mean, here we are. So the Deep, aside, I'm gonna go back. So my pick from last week was Supersonic, and boy, was I oh so right and oh so wrong about that pick.
Yeah.
But this week, I'll dive into that more next week for episode 5. But for this week, the character to watch is actually A-Train for me. He's fumbling a lot of balls, like pretty much at every turn. So I'm looking to A-Train to basically cause a domino effect level of chaos over the next, what is it, 4 episodes. Yeah, I'm looking for him to cause more chaos
Yeah.
in the next 4 episodes. So I think he's the one to watch, mostly because what we see this episode, and this is even before he had the fight with the Deep, and we saw it in the first 3, he's really grasping for straws to still be loved, adored, to still have this level of attention, to still have his spot in the 7. He's willing to do anything at this point to get back into Homelander's good graces. And that's why I feel like we can't trust him. So, yeah, he's going to be my character to watch this week, hands down, for sure.
And absolutely fair. Like, what a all-time low you have to be at to like grovel to someone like Homelander. Not just simply because he could kill you, but because he's such a terrible person. But when you are down bad, I guess you don't have any you don't have any choice.
Yeah.
So,
and this is what I was gonna say. It's a
yeah,
choice. Like for him, it's absolutely a choice. It's
yes,
not like, this is
absolutely.
like you're choosing to do these things to get into Homelander's good graces when quite frankly, Homelander can go. Like he gotta go. I need him to go.
He has to, but if it's up to A Train, honestly, whoever can benefit to get him in 7, he'll probably stick up for. So that's just not going to end well for him, but that's for him, his road to cross whenever that does happen. And if it does. So moving on to Easter eggs. Now, usually I would be ready with that, but I think something, and I don't know if this was meant to be an Easter egg or not, but I want to talk about the dildos because one, how can we not? Again, a recurring theme. And they were also on theme. You had a Starlight dildo. You had a Homelander one. I don't know if there's an A Train one, but probably was, and I
We didn't.
imagine that the
We saw
vibration
the
speed on
Black
that.
Noir. We saw the Black Noir.
Black
We saw
Noir. Okay, because I know
the
Elden
Black
was one
Noir.
of them.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
the vicious vibrators
Just
serve a purpose. So
they do. They did. And they make excellent killing machines. So shout out to them. Multi-purpose, getting your money's worth. Because sometimes vibrators are not cheap. So there we have it. Any Easter eggs for you?
I mean,
Any Easter eggs for
we just don't want any viewers kind of taking this in their own hands and using these vicious vibrators in other ways that they are not intended. So I feel like we should probably say that. But okay, so since we really don't have any Easter eggs to dive into yet, I feel like what we need to do is just talk about speculations because there are tons of those from episode 4. And for me, what I feel like is going to occur in episode 5 is Annie and Huey will hit a very, very, very rough patch. I feel like that's coming and it's being teased a lot. I feel like we may see try to take on Soldier Boy by himself. Again, I think he's unstable. He's not really thinking clearly because he has a lot of trauma and a lot of grief. I also think that Butcher, the backup baby daddy, I think that he will continue to be oblivious of all of the damage that he's causing and truly how he's like, breaking up the boys. But Butcher is always about that ignorance and that avoidance, and apparently they're bliss, baby. So let's just, let him do what he's gonna do, which is high key self-destruct.
And just everyone run for cover whenever that happens. Totally agree with you on Starlight and Huey. I think Huey is going to see himself become, or we will see him become more Butcher-like this season. I just feel like that's his, as much as, because Butcher seems like a stepdaddy to him as well. So, that is his little son in training as well. I think Maeve is really going to come through in a way that one, everyone else needs her to, like a step up from what she did in season 2, which was really huge for her. But I don't know, like I just feel like Maeve is going to possibly end up being, if not a key component, at least like one of the people to help them get to whatever it is that they need to take out Homelander. And what else? We got to talk about Miss Ashley. I I don't think it's going to end well for her. I don't know in what way, but I just feel like, she might be on the up and up now, but it's Vought. Uh and that seems like a really terrible place to work with. I mean, to work at, and I just see that not going well for her. So might be winning now, but I think by the time we get to that finale, Ashley may not be with us anymore. And just in case you all haven't heard yet, there is a season 4 coming for The Boys. So will Ashley still be with us? Who's to say?
Not,
But the way things
what?
are going right now.
You know what? Not you put a hex on Ashley's head. I cannot stand for this.
I know. Listen, I just really hope for her sake that she is playing this in a way that we can't see right now. But the way she's kind of moving, I'm like, girl, like you're putting a little bit too much. I don't even want to say like faith, but like you are really treating this job like that 401k that they gave y'all, like that's something you're going to see. Because I feel like Vought is a country. I mean, wow, it could be a country. Maybe, I mean, hell, I feel like the United States is probably being ran by Vought in this universe. Anyway, Vought is a company that probably has really high matching rates for the 401ks, but that's because their employees probably never make it to retirement. So.
Oh my God,
It.
Stephanie. You know what though? When you
bad.
just said that, I actually thought you were about to say the United States is being ran through by Vought. And I was like, also probably kind of true.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
call it another name. We don't necessarily call it Vought, but also kind of true.
Yeah. So I said Vought-neers.
Oh, I just, it's too wholesome for me, I think, maybe. The Vought-neers, it feels too wholesome when everybody knows
That's what
Vought
makes it bad.
is a scoundrel. Like, I'm like, I feel like the name should be dirtier. I don't know. I don't know any other way.
Well,
to
okay,
say it. Like,
okay, so we'll workshop it. We'll workshop it a little bit, but I think that's the part that why Vought-neers works, because it is so sweet, and we know that is not at all the case when it comes to this company. So we'll workshop it and we'll see, but it's messed up around there. And like I said, I would show me a Vought employee who has retired. Show me. I'm curious.
Show me one, just one. We don't even need like 5.
Just one.
If there's one employee that made it and did not die. Like, yes, they are truly the one.
Right. All right. Any final words, thoughts, or comments, KB?
I feel like everyone better sleep with one eye open now that Soldier Boy's back.
One eye open when you're sleeping, whatever song that is. It just came to me, so there's that.
Any comments on your end? Final thoughts?
I am ready to see, because I still think that Soldier Boy and Homelander, when they meet, when those two, when they come together, it is going to be like my favorite, Niecy Nash from Reno 911. She told that young lady that, the hair was not matching, it wasn't giving, it was conflict, it was a little conflict. It was getting Peruvian in the front and a little kitchen in the back. I think that is what's going to happen when Soldier Boy and Homelander meet up. We are going to see that clash. We are going to see what happens when you go ahead and wet your hair after, or a Jerry curl situation, right? Jerry curls and fire don't go hand in hand. So if Homelander is the Jerry curl because he is leaving his mess everywhere, and Soldier Boy is our fire, it is just not going to go down the way that is going to be beneficial to anyone. So I'm ready I'm ready to see that fight. I want A-Train. I just want somebody to sit A-Train down and talk to him. There has to be a Jay-Z or someone that he can go to brunch with for a $200 brunch or whatever, that is. And talk to him and get him right since he wants to be, doing things in the Black community. Go talk to somebody. We'll hope maybe that happens. Who knows? And I need more Maeve, and I need more Black Noir.
I was gonna say, A-Train's given don't save her, she don't want to be saved. So I feel like A-Train know what's up and he know what's not up and he's still pushing through. So, some people can't be saved and he really giving me that energy. So I'm gonna let him keep it there. Like, I'm gonna let you cook, sir, because this is what you decided to do. So just real quick, before we get into the fan service, we're gonna do a little rapid fire. So, don't think, just answer, okay? So, who disappoints you more, Stan Edgar or Victoria Newman?
Victoria.
Okay. Who would win in a soup fight? Do you think it's Soldier Boy or Homelander?
Oh, God.
I know you think about the comics. That's why. Right. Okay. Which of the humans besides Ashley do you speculate could die this season? Could it be Frenchie or could it be Mother's Milk?
Frenchie, but if anything goes the way that it normally does, because Mother's Milk is Black, probably him. But we'll just go with Frenchie.
Oh, no. We do be getting killed first. So, yes.
Yes.
Okay, who do you think reads more books? I feel like based on your answer earlier, I know this, but who reads more books? The Deep or A-Train?
A-Train, but hold on. The reason, because like the Deep, I think he is holding the book upside down. But A-Train is probably, the Deep is being read too. And nothing wrong with that. It's still, you still learning something. But
honestly, I was gonna say they're both reading picture books. So like, what is the truth?
That is, and still getting it wrong, but here we are.
Still missing the point. Okay, now who do you think? Because we out here. Ashley is out here having a hot girl summer, and we love to see it. We stand women, standing in their agency. So who's her one true pairing? Is it Cameron or that director? High key, I do not remember his name right now, so apologies.
AJ, but I do think it's Cameron though, because I feel like Cameron is also a company man in a way that she is a company woman. So when those two meet, yes.
Thank you. Apologies, AJ. I'm really having a brain fart. That's on me. But I agree with Cameron, and mostly because I feel like they have the same level of ambition. AJ was really just made that movie, but really wasn't confident. Like, Cameron is confident in the propaganda that he spins. And I think that's what you need with Ashley. So I'm definitely going to agree.
Absolutely.
All right. And so you mentioned that you need to see more Maeve and Black Noir this season. I 100% agree. But who do you think would win in a sword fight between the two of them? Is Maeve taking it home because she's sharpening her life skills? Or is it Black Noir because mostly he's somewhere eating an apple, living life?
Maeve, but I do not feel confident in saying that. Also, I feel like, because that's a tough question, right? Well, no, because this feels like the women's movement, and it's like, because as a Black woman, you're asking me, do I side with this Black man, Black Noir, or this white woman, Queen Maeve? And at those intersections,
I put you in a challenging situation.
You did. It was a very tricky one, and I don't appreciate, but I'm saying Maeve, but like, I do not say that confidently, just off a skill level, because I don't know, because like, she's trying to get her life together, so maybe she has that comeback kind of like Rocky vibe to her. But Maeve, but that is, I'm putting $2 down. I'm not betting the whole house.
I'm going to put a solid 10 on Black Noir. So we would be, going head to head for sure, because I'm definitely going to do that. But okay. So before we head out, let's do a little fan service. Are there any questions or comments that are interesting that we can get into? But I will preface this by saying we cannot spoil certain things. So if any of them pop up, the answer just might be no. So sorry about that in advance.
Are you able to see this?
I genuinely cannot see this. So I don't know. But okay, they definitely are all shite at different levels. Yeah, I think I mentioned this last episode. It's kind of a conundrum to be in because they're all hot but all terrible. And so you're kind of like, dang, dating, in this Vought universe has to be the pits because, like, you're going to get just destroyed emotionally, but they're going to be really attractive. I mean, I don't know. That sounds terrible, but it's the truth.
It does sound terrible, but it also sounds like real life. So, is it too different?
Child, dating is truly the ghetto. So I will, that's all I have. Truly. Anything else? What does this one say? Oh, shout out to Mood.
Hey, Mood. Yes.
You
are so right.
Adrian Veidt from Watchmen.
Which, if you haven't watched Watchmen, go watch it.
I think that Veidt would fit in perfectly, actually. I think that if we were talking about, like comic book crossovers, there are a lot of things. I mean, I know you said last week, Stephanie, Professor X would fit perfectly in this universe. But Mood brings
up a good point. Keep them the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I mean, they're cousins to Vought.
Not cousins. Please. Ooh, so curious about powers.
I am too, because anybody who is giving you, so going back to the X-Men, you have his powers, or this new power that he seems to have, reminds me of Havoc, who is Scott Summers' brother. The Summers are a mess. I won't get into that, but
baby, that DNA is a mess.
Ain't it?
In the Summers family,
it's like, Jean, baby. Yes, and I'm like, Jean,
we do not
keep passing out, keep dying. No, but his powers, I mean, that whatever this new power is reminds me of that. So that combined with what powers were before, I don't know, like Homelander probably had maybe met his match. We'll find out. Hopefully, I want to see this fight.
I'm gonna say because Soulja Boy is an OG, like, he been down bad, for some decades. It's been a long time, but I feel like it's like riding a bike once you get back to it. And because he's an OG racist in an OG soup, I feel like the combination of both, one, I can only imagine, like not Soulja Boy coming out here being like, the blacks got rights. Like, I feel like that's going to be the first shock that he's going to have when he, enters the world. Like, that y'all for real got rights, and we out here together, and y'all, there was a black president. I really feel like Soulja Boy is probably going to be shocked in that regard. But I kid. But really, I do feel like the OG powers might be a lot stronger, than Homelander, and they have been suppressed for decades. That he's gonna come out the gate swinging, I feel like.
Also, Homelander has shown, like, he does have some weaknesses. The whole thing with being a test tube baby, like, you can hurt Homelander's feelings. He's sensitive about his ratings. So, and those are all things that, Soulja Boy was not alive when he was alive when that wasn't around when he was out and about. And I just feel like Soulja Boy might have that mental edge over Homelander in that way. Because I don't know, like, will he get as emotional as Homelander? Who's
it's just funny because I'm really cackling because you said you could hurt his feelings, and all I keep thinking is, you know, Homelander's entire personality is his downfall. Like, I feel like his personality is his weakness. So, like, this whole thing could go left just because he's, you know, out here crying about how he didn't have a mom. So, at which, I mean, is terrible, but also, sir, not an excuse for your behavior. So, like, here we are.
Stressed. I won't say blessed because not in this world.
Stressed and I won't say blessed. Honestly, like, I know Yosaki, here we are. Oh, this is interesting. So I think this says Jeremiah, so I'm just gonna say that. Jeremiah asks, and if it's not, apologies, because I truly cannot see it. Victoria's daughter's superpowers ideas. Oh, you know what? I don't know. It really could be anything. You know what I will say? I will say this.
Yeah.
I will say this. I did think when Homelander handed her that vial that it wasn't going to have any. Like, I thought it was probably like a placebo. I was like, I don't trust Homelander, so this probably not going to work.
No. I don't know. Cause here's the thing, like, for the powers, is it one of those things where it's like the X gene and it just manifests differently in people? Like, it's still the same compound, like the same material and makeup, or does it, like, and then it'll just manifest differently? Or are there like, hey, this is for you to run fast or you to be super strong or whatever? So I will be interested. Will she have similar powers to her sister? I don't know, but if she does, then that is really scary, and we definitely should be fearing Victoria.
You mean her mom? You mean her mom?
I mean, oh my God, yes, her mom. Wow, sorry.
Okay. I was like, wait.
You know what? Like, that's on Victoria. Hold on. That is on Victoria's. No, it's okay, but that just means Victoria Newman look good for her age. So, if anything, you know,
I was like, now wait a minute. I was like, now she got a secret baby. What's the truth? Tell me more. Like, please. I was ready
I'm
to
so
dive
sorry.
into that. I said, hold on.
No, that is on me, because I was like, sister, because I'm like, they, you know, superpowers and very good aging. So that's another reason why you would probably want to, you know, you age pretty well. I mean, you know, you saw Stormfront before she got fucked up. She also aged well. So there you have it.
You're right. I can't say it enough. All right. Well, that is the end of our episode. Stephanie, plug everything. Plug your work. Plug your socials. You know, tell us where you'll be, what you're dropping soon, what's happening in your world.
Well, if you are a reader of comics, Nubia Queen of the Amazons #1 just dropped this week. So you can pick that up at your local comic book store or on Amazon Prime. So plugging that there. Also, if you are in the New York City area, I will be attending New York City Comic Con this fall. So I think that's October 6th through the 9th. And if you are in the Charlotte area, I will be at Heroes Con too. And that is this month, June 24th through the 26th. So stop on by if you're there. We'll sign some comics. I'll talk to you about the boys. You know, we could just have a really great time. And we could definitely talk more spoilers because, I mean, come on. It's the boys. There's so much to talk about. We can even talk about the comics, which I don't normally like to do, but we could do it. So there's that. And you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and also Twitter at Steph_I_Will.
Stephanie is really, truly the first person who, like, put a warning on the comics for me. She was like, it is violent. And I was like, more violent than the show? She was like, yes. And I was like, oh, cool. So, you know, I appreciate you looking out, you know, let me know ahead of time. But we have to debrief. So, yeah, I will be at San Diego Comic-Con if anyone is around to chat about the boys. Let's do it. And I will also potentially, maybe, be at New York Comic Con. The way my fall schedule is set up
Fingers
is
crossed.
aggressive, but fingers crossed. I have a little bit of free time in October to also be at New York Comic Con, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter only. And really, high key, I have a TikTok, but like I told y'all last week, I just be looking at other people's videos and supporting them. I have personally not put out any of my own, but you can see all of the other content that I am working on for a bunch of different media outlets and talking about a lot of different franchises. So just follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Lady KB. That's TheLadyKayb. And per usual, do not forget to subscribe to the Amazon Prime Video YouTube channel right now so you do not miss an episode of Superhero Club Presents The Boys After Show. As always, the first 2 seasons are out now, plus the first 4 episodes of season 3, available right now of The Boys. Please watch and rewatch. That's exactly how we got this season 4, which we're super excited about. And then until next Friday, thank you for joining, and we'll see you guys soon.